Welcome back to Post Time. The Matron Stakes are some of the oldest and extremely important events in the harness racing sport. They are bound to gather together four-legged stars to our Dover Downs track. And that also includes some two-legged stars, like our next guest. Mike Lachance joins me, and I found this gem of an article in my archives. It says, Lachance's talent was evident early at Big B. As a young driver at Brandywine Raceway in the mid-1970s, Mike Lachance was a good one. It was evident that he might develop into a great one. That guy was right! I had no idea that you had a history in Delaware. Tell me about that.
Oh, I start race Brandywine at Liberty Bell in 73, and I raced for 4 years in a row, 73, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
Goodness. So now let's fast forward, okay? You get inducted in the Hall of Fame. I think it was 95. So you've had, 4 Hambletonians, 5 Little Brown Jugs. But this year has also been amazing. You just keep going. Tell me about this year and how great it's been.
Well, it's I did this year like I do every year. I start to drive in the middle of May there when the young horses are coming around, and I'm always hoping to get a good trotter that I could build around it. And I've been very fortunate. Every year I always get one, and this year was like usual. So I just consider myself very lucky that I could do that there. But whenever it happened, and when it stops, it's okay.
It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop for Mike Lachance. Okay, having a birthday, 62, December 16th. So an early happy birthday. How do you stay young? You look fabulous. And we had this on the show last year. Actually, I was interviewing your nephew, Luke Wallette. And I always thought that Luke Wallette had the best skin in harness racing. But obviously, it runs in the family. What is your secret?
No, there's no secret. I was just, I've always been healthy all my life there. And I always like exercise and careful of what I'm eating there because I can gain weight very easy. So just keep moving. Get up every day early, and I always I'm very, very active. So, and I guess that's what it's helping me to stay younger.
Oh, I was really hoping he was going to tell us something that, we could just snap our fingers and we would have that fountain of youth. But so it's a little bit of hard work. Well, whatever. You look fabulous. I'm so glad you had a great year. I was there for the Kentucky fraternity, rooting you on all the way, and I'm glad that you came on the show again. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks a million.
There are some great people in the business, and of course, some great horses. Let's review who won the classic, prestigious Matron Finals for 3-year-olds at Dover Downs. Let's begin with the rich Matron Final for 3-year-old trotting fillies. And it was Personal Style making an outside journey to win an A Stakes record of 153-2 for trainer Nifty Norman.
The trip worked out good, I had the inside and a couple of them left from the outside, and ended up following one of the favorites second over and took me right to the head of the lane.
Personal Style won the Hambletonian Oaks in August, and now in this big win, she helped driver David Miller push his seasonal earnings past $10 million. This is Miller's 11th season, reaching $10 million in a year. And that's a record in harness racing history. Congrats on the milestone, David. Moving on to the over 140 grand Matron Final for sophomore trotting colts, it was Jimmy Takter and Iguchi Oh winning in a 153 score. Takter is also the trainer of this high stepper. In fact, Jimmy Takter trained the first 3 finishers of this big final. Let's find out more with Publicity Director Marv Bachrod.
Well, coming into the winner's circle, Jimmy Takter. Jimmy, it's like deja vu all over again. This is exactly what happened last week. were off the pace and came on strong and just were so tough in the stretch.
Yeah, he actually worked out a pretty good trip here. I mean, Mike was in and out a little bit there, and he realized he didn't have power follow Go Gaga there, so it worked out really good for me. I mean, I got a good live cover to middle of the turn, and the other two horses, or my horses, had to do a little bit more work. I just had a little bit more left than they.
In the old days, you were exclusively a trotting trainer. Of course, that goes back from your days back in Sweden. Now you also with pacers. You must put a lot of time into looking at horses to pick them and then to train them.
Yeah, we do a big research. I have a guy, Perry Söder, working for me. That's his job, to look for youngsters out there, and he prepare himself 3 months for every sale, and so we go through the sale very thoroughly, and make sure that we try to do as little mistake as possible, and so far we've been able to done very well in the pacing industry. I mean, for God's sake, I've been here 30 years. I was just 21 years old when I came here, so United States is my home, and so why not try pacers?
I remember when you came to Brandywine as a young fella, and you've come a long way since then. Very good. Thank you very much, Jimmy Takter, having another giant season in harness racing.
As the 3-year-old pacing fillies took center stage in their Rich Matron final, we saw Darina Hanover show off with a 150-4 effort. Ron Burke, the sports leading trainer, conditions this mare, who also won the famous Jugette this season. In the driver's seat was Yannick Gingras.
Well, big favorite with the rail, so I took a matter in my own hand. I decided I was going to go down the road, and halfway down the last turn, I didn't really think the horse in my back had a shot to beat me, so I decided I was going to try to get the jump on the backfill. But actually, the filly on my back, Marty Party, was very sharp tonight, and she gave me a good scare in the stretch. But thankfully, my filly had just enough to hold on.
Finally, in the over $176,000 matron final for 3-year-old pacing colts, Heston Blue Chip wowed the crowd as he won in 1:48, the fastest mile in Dover Downs history.
They come to the top of the stretch, turning for home, and it's Heston Blue Chip, a 2-length leader as they straighten away. Heston Blue Chip, thinking out loud, racing in second, coming through the stretch. It's Heston Blue Chip. Thinking out loud is on the outside to be second. Heston Blue Chip in front, 1:48.
Heston Blue Chip, trained by Linda Toscano, won the 2011 Matron as a 2-year-old, and now at 3, he's a Matron champ again. Tim Tetrix, the regular driver, but he was away at a family wedding, so the millionaire was driven by the Minister of Speed, George Brennan. Let's see what the connections had to share with Marv Bachrod.
Was there any intent on your part to do anything other than get to the front?
No, not really. Just see how the race broke out. And, broke out. I was able to drop in third there for a bit. And Yannick backed the horse off a little bit. I was able to move to the lead, and worked out great.
When you look at fractions, and wherever you go in the sport, you go faster than 26 to the quarter. They do it nowadays, but this horse really could do it both ways, in front, middle, and end of the mile.
Yeah, he's very versatile. He showed that all year long. Breeders' Crown, he was first over, and that's what makes him such a great horse. He can do it either way, and he's just a tremendous horse.
George, you've had a real great year during 2012, and this is a great way to cap it.
It's a great way for Linda to cap it, too. This is the last big stakes race of the year, and she's had a wonderful year. I've known Linda a long time, since back when I was in high school, so it's a long time ago. But, congratulations to Linda. She's done a great job, not only with this horse, but the rest of the stable.
Thank you very much, George Brennan. Done a tremendous job. Linda Toscano has had a remarkable year with trotters and pacers, and I'll tell you, you can't top this one.
No, it's unbelievable. I feel like heck with that guy that won the Powerball. I won it in this year, too.
What about pressure that you get as a trainer? You had Chapter 7. You had the winner of the Hambletonian Market Square, and now you have a horse that's a leading contender for 3-year-old pacer, and he sets a track record and one of the fastest miles ever for a 3-year-old colt pacer.
Yeah, I mean, sure, there's pressure, but I think I've worked my whole lifetime to feel this kind of pressure, so that's okay. It's a good kind of pressure.
You look forward right now. I'm sure you're breaking yearlings and looking forward, but it's going to be very hard to duplicate this one.
Oh, I don't even attempt it. I'll gladly move aside for the next person to experience all the thrills and everything that I had this year. I mean, everybody that does this deserves a year like this.
Thank you very much. Linda Toscano, humble young lady who's done an outstanding job and leading contender for Trainer of the Year of 2012.
Congratulations to the new Dover Downs track record holder, Heston Blue Chip, and all of the 2012 Matron champions.